Reuters has some great news for us here on the issue of marijuana. They say Californians are set to decide whether to make recreational marijuana use legal after the California Secretary of State's office said on Tuesday the issue could be put up to voters in the November ballot. The proposed Adult Use of Marijuana Act, which is supported by Lieutenant Governor Gavin Newsom, among others, would allow people aged 21 and older to possess as much as an ounce of marijuana for private recreational use and permit personal cultivation of as many as 6 marijuana plants. The measure would also establish a system to license, regulate, and tax sales of marijuana while allowing city governments to exercise local control over or disallow commercial distribution within their borders. So, I'm going to make a prediction now. This is a pretty bold prediction, but I don't give a fuck. I'm going to make it anyway. If this passes, and if California officially has recreational marijuana. Now, as of right now, they have medical marijuana, and it's a really loose system. So, hey, doc, I have a backache. Hey, whatever, here's the thing you need. Go get some weed. So, like, it's a loose system now, but still, it is officially not recreational marijuana in California. If we get to the point where California has recreational marijuana, it's over. It's over. The fight's over. Which means eventually there will be legal marijuana at a federal level. So at that point, it would just be too much of a contradiction to ignore. So we have Colorado, Washington State, Alaska, and Oregon, I believe, 4 states have legalized recreational marijuana. Now, the federal government, admittedly under a Democratic president, they kind of sort of look the other way a little bit and ignore the fact that federal law has marijuana as illegal. And the states have said, we have legalized it in our borders. But if anybody knows anything about the Constitution, they know about the Supremacy Clause. Federal law overrides state law. So technically the federal government, if they so choose, if they wanted to, they could just go in and say, we're shutting down all this recreational weed in every state that has it. Now, again, they haven't done that under the Obama administration. And recently, Obama's been releasing more nonviolent drug offenders. It's an area where he's doing a decent job. So if California falls, and you add them to the list of states that have recreational marijuana, you're past the point of no return. You're past what you can't, like, as of right now, I wouldn't put it past a dickhead president like Trump, if he wants to. He could come in and just say, yeah, shut it all down. And they can do that. They have the legal authority to do that, and the states have no way, no recourse. I mean, they could sue, but they'd lose. So once you add California to the mix, though, it's such a big state, and the industry is so large on its own that you can't. No, the backlash would be overwhelming if they legalize weed and the federal government tries to say, no, we're going to shut it all down everywhere. Inconceivable. And then when you add the polls into the mix, at least 58% of Americans say it should be legalized for recreational purposes. 58%. That's a gigantic majority. In fact, there might be some new polls that have it over 60%. So when you put all the things together, it would be the case that marijuana is the new gay marriage. And that marijuana legalization, that the tides of history and the trends of history are moving so strongly in this direction that it's a train you can't stop, man. Snowball effect has taken over, and it'd be over. It'd be game, set, match. That would be a fantastic thing. And understand, like, we talk about the tide of history, the trends of history often, but because of moneyed interest, these trends of history are against us on economic issues, against us on trade issues, against us when it comes to a living wage, decent middle-class income, because the corporations own the political system. But something that's overlooked oftentimes is that you have a lot of corporations are actually on the side of liberals when it comes to social issues. Now, it gets a little complicated because not all social issues are viewed the same, but like on gay marriage, for example, now there's been a total reversal. The people with all the money, the corporations, are almost across the board on the side of liberals. And we won on that. So wherever the money is, usually you end up winning. As soon as the marijuana industry gets big enough to crush the forces that are trying to stop it, and we're probably at the tipping point now, then that's it, man. Matter of time. It's just a matter of time. So the tides of history stay with liberals and progressives on social issues. They're still against us on economic issues. Wouldn't it be great if we won on both fronts? But this would be such a gigantic win. So Californians, it's up to you. The only thing that could stop it, I think, is if they do the tricky bullshit that they did, like with, I think it's Proposition 8, when it came to gay marriage a while back, where they worded it so that it is purposely confusing. And people didn't know which is for gay marriage, which is against gay marriage. It was made so confusing people didn't know. And then also you had, at the time, organized groups against gay marriage, a lot of religious groups, and so it ended up losing. The only way they could defeat it this time around, recreational weed in California, is if they do these kind of tricks. So we have to be very smart and vigilant in how they word these things and the kind of campaigns that are run, because it would be fantastic for them to win, and then we move closer and closer to a better position, more freedom, more liberty on an important social issue.